Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and this video here is going to go over two important farming events in Guild Wars 2 which are located in Cursed Shore. These events are Penitent Camp and Shelter's Gate Camp. Now I'm going to start with Penitent Gate Camp since that's where this video starts. I feel that it's only appropriate. Now Penitent Camp, well actually I should say both of these events, what they are is defense events. You got to defend a certain area, a bunch of mobs run towards the camp, and you got to kill them pretty much before they reach it. Now, these events are very commonly farmed because a large amount of mobs pretty much come to you. You really can't go wrong with that when it comes to farming. Now, Penitent Camp has a static unevade location. By that, I mean the mobs will reach a certain point and then immediately become uninvulnerable. Until that point, no matter what, if you try to attack them, they're invulnerable. You won't be able to deal any damage, you won't be able to slow them, you won't be able to get a single little speck of credit for the kill until they reach that point. Now, what you want to do is stand right on top of that location. I'm pretty much there in the entire video, and also I have it marked on my website, which there's a link to that in the description of the video. The closer you are to this location, means the less distance your AoE has to travel once the mobs reach it for, in order for it to hit them and to do as much damage as possible. That is, of course, if you actually have AoE that travels. Like a thief will have to lob an arrow, ranger might have certain AoEs that, has to fly to the destination area. So it's important that you stand on that area because the mobs here die really fast. Now, I've always found Penitent Camp to be the harder of the two events here to get loot on, mainly because of the reason that I just said. It's extremely hard to get enough damage in if you're not a class with a lot of AoE. There's too many bots and there's only one area here, that little consolidated AoE area, and with everybody standing here AoEing, there's bound to be, classes that are more built around AoE that would do more damage than a lot of the more, I guess you could say, normal regular players. Now, of course, if you are that awesome AoE class and you have a ton of AoE, you'll have no problem at all. Now, if you don't have a lot of AoE, a really good tip that I can give to you is to group up with a few people. Just say something in /say you're looking for a group, or is anybody looking for a group, and then you can group up. Nobody's entirely sure of how groups work in this game, but as far as I'm concerned, or rather as far as what I've been told and I've learned, is when you deal damage to a mob, you have to do a certain amount of damage percentage-wise in order to get credit for that mob's kill. The group's damage is factored into your whole percentage credit for the kill. So if you do 2% and everybody in the group does 2% and you need 10% in order to get loot /XP for the mob, you'll get it. Otherwise, if you were just alone, you did 2%, it wouldn't count. So you're pretty much that's pretty much everything you need to know about Penitent Gate Camp, or Penitent Camp, I should say. Now it's for Shelter's Gate Camp. Mobs spawn in 3 different locations here, much different than how they spawn in Penitent. Although they do spawn in 3 different locations here, they all are invulnerable until they reach 1, so we might as well just call it one consolidated spawn location. Now there's only 2 locations in Shelter's Gate Camp that you're actually going to pay attention to. These are, I show them in the video, I pretty much run back and forth between them the entire time in the video. One is up by the northern wall. You really can't go any far north, it's just all mountains past that. You'll pretty much see where it is in the video. A bunch of people are standing around there, so even if you go there in person, you'll pretty much be able to figure out where these 2 locations are. Just look for where everybody's placing their traps. This is where the mobs spawn. The other location is under the bridge in the gully leading south out of Shelter's Gate Camp to Joe Fast. And just for shits and giggles, I guess you could say, the third location is out of the southern gate of the town. If you're leading towards Joe Fast, you don't go across the bridge, you go out the exact opposite exit of the town that we would go out for this event. Now, this location is pretty much overrun with bots, rather going out of the southern gate, because not many people really know, or I guess you could say care about this one location. And since not many people know or care about it, bots have a much less chance of getting caught because there's not many people around to report them. Now, that's pretty much all you need to know about the events there. Well, actually, I did forget one thing about Shelter's Gate. The mobs in Shelter's Gate don't go invulnerable the second they spawn, and they don't go uninvulnerable when they reach a certain point, which means if you are more on the ball, I guess you could say, you have a much better chance of getting loot here. because you'll be able to actually, wait for the mobs to spawn at a certain location, AoE them before anybody else gets a chance to. It's really crucial. If you don't have the best AoE, this will really help you get some of the loot that you actually, are here for. Now, the loot that you're going to be getting here are a bunch of fine crafting materials. You'll get stuff like large fangs, potent venom sacs, and things like that. There's a few different rare crafting materials you get here. You also get heavy moldy bags, bones, large bones, pile of crystal dust, pile of incandescent dust, all of that fun stuff. And you're also going to get heavy moldy bags, which when you open them, they have a chance to contain any of the fine crafting materials, 325 to 400 rank, which pretty much means you can get any of the rare or fine crafting materials, I should say here. And you can also get the rare crafting material, the pile of putrid essence. You can get quite a few of that here, although at this current point in time, it doesn't sell very well in the auction house, mainly just because it's farmed so endlessly. Now, in this location, I found you'll get about 20 to 25 silver per event in vendor trash. You'll get more, there's a chance you can get more and there's a chance you can get less, as always. Vendor trash, to me, counts as whites, blues, greens, and grays. Again, that's whites, blues, greens, and grays. You can salvage some of the whites and greens if you'd like to, depending on what rune is in the green and depending on what the white is. Currently, the rawhide gear just doesn't sell well at all, so I'd only recommend salvaging like the acolyte gear, maybe, or the, chainmail gear, because they have the chance of giving you gossamer silk and orichalcum ore, both of which actually do sell pretty well. For some reason, the leather, just nobody really pays attention to the leather at all. It does not sell well. That, and you'll also be able to salvage all of the runes and fun stuff like that. Or not salvage the runes, but sell the runes that you get from salvaging. Besides that, you should expect to get probably one rare per run. I can't remember if I said this before, but sometimes you'll get more, sometimes you just won't get any. And but more than always, I guess you could say, you're going to be getting a rare. And by that I mean a rare item that you'll be able to salvage for a chance at globs of ectoplasm. Pretty much every single event you do out here, you're almost guaranteed to get one of those pile of crystalline dusts, which is a rare crafting material. However, they just don't sell very well at all. They're so common that the price is just not going to go up until a recipe is added for them that uses them in, mass supply. And even then, the bots need to get out first in order for any of it to be worth it. There's a few gathering nodes around all of these locations, stuff like that, a few different things you can do. The events tend to spawn one after another, so if you're at Penitent Gate Camp, usually within 3 minutes in, the Shelter's Gate Camp will spawn. At this point, it's really a toss-up. You can stay at Penitent or you can move on to Shelters. It's really up to you when that happens. You just have to kind of weigh the pros and cons in your head extremely fast. What you want to do is, figure out, am I getting a lot of loot at Penitent Camp? Are there too many people here? All of that fun stuff. But that's pretty much all. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe for future Guild Wars 2 videos, and I'll see you guys around.